My bad. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Gambling Nights. I was sitting here cursing my man out. Be humble because this motherfucker had us. Black. We late, but we be late. I'm like, yo, dog. I gotta run and get some grub. I'm just coming back from the gym. Let me get a shower. All that and above, but I love him anyway. We here, we live. Welcome everybody back again to another episode. I'm Moss Money. That's Be Humble. Let's get right into the stories. Let's not waste no time. Let's talk about it. First, before I do talk about it, I do want to say thank you for everybody who caught us on episode one. I love the comments. Keep them coming. Keep them running through. We're going to talk a lot about betting and what's going on in culture and all that stuff. I'll get to your comments as much as you can. If you're watching us for the first time, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. Check us out on iTunes with Apple Podcasts. Everywhere you can find, put in Money Pot Betting, you will find us right now. All right, let's get into the first thing that we want to talk about. And there's a lot of stuff that happened this weekend, right? Tons of stuff that happened this weekend. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is what we saw in March Madness. $2.7 billion in betting on the tourney this year, a record high. And that was spearheaded by Dave, what's his name from Barstools, Dave
Portnoy.
Portnoy. Let's check this ticket out, yo. Let me bring up the ticket. Let me show y'all the ticket that this man cashed. $600,000 bet that he put on there. Let me get y'all what y'all looking for real quick. Hold up. Let me get the ticket up. Where is it at? Bang! The greatest bet of my life. Thank you, UConn. Destroyed everybody and everything in their path. They won the tournament 100 times out of 100. Biggest win of my life by a mile. $2.7 million on the ticket. I believe it was with DraftKings. Smashed it. Just smashed it all crazy. No Diddy on on this bet. You're a big better in the tournament, bro. What did you look like? And did you hit any coins like this? Because I need some shillings, man.
Hell no, I hit no coins
For
like that.
real.
If I hit them coins like that, we'd be somewhere else right now. You know what I mean? Like that's a congratulations, bro. But he's a northern Bostonian, I think he's from like Boston area, so he's really big on that section of the United States. And UConn put it down for him, man. That's a heck of a. I mean, the line was only plus 360, so you had to put that money out there like that. But UConn looked like the best team from day one. I think they were the best as far as plus minus throughout the tournament. Nobody really kind of gave him a fight. I think Alabama, maybe for a quick second, gave him a little run, and then they pulled away like they've been doing all half during the tournament in the second half. So, man, salute to UConn. Back-to-back champs ain't been done since what, 97?
90. No, it was 06, 07. It
Oh
was the
seven,
Florida
oh seven.
Gators. Eighth team to repeat. 6-0 in the finals. They're 6-0 in NC and when they make the finals.
Make the
I
finals.
think they just broke a tie with, was it Duke? I think there was a three-way tie for fifth national championships. There's six, but I think UCLA has like 11, if I'm not mistaken. They went on that run, right? Back in
Hmm.
those old days, they went on like a 10-year run. Can you imagine? Like recycling,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you go to UCLA and as a freshman, and then you win every year, and then you recruit somebody to UCLA and they win every year
Yeah.
for a decade. You know what I mean? That's wow. That's so crazy to me. What they did over in UCLA. But yeah, like I said, back to back. I didn't see the game. I didn't watch the game. I didn't bet anything on the tournament or the brackets or any of that stuff. How'd you do? Did you have UConn?
Yeah, in this game I had UConn. I had a couple things, man, throughout the series. There was some upsets. Obviously, North Carolina was a big one. I had a future for them to get to the championship. I had a couple futures I didn't hit, but UConn was a favorite, obviously. In
Yeah.
that game, Purdue, I like Zach Edey. He did his thing. Well, they said, hey, Zach Edey's going to be the only one that's going to be able to kind of put the ball to the hoop. Everybody else going to work for it. I think Purdue led
What
the
he had?
nation.
He had 40, and they had like 75 points, right?
Exactly, something like that. I
Something
think they said
stupid.
that Purdue kind of led college basketball in 3 points or something like that,
Right.
and they only made one. I think out of 7 shots, 7 attempts.
Damn.
So salute to that defense from UConn coming in with a game plan, coach well. Um, they had them boys rolling, and it kind of remind me of like South Carolina. Two teams dominated all season, got to the win, got to the chip. What you got going on over there, brother? That
I'm
look a
trying to open this joint, trying to
little.
get that.
Oh, you got that Terramana, huh? I got that.
Ooh, did you hear
Salute to
that?
the Rock.
Salute. You know what I mean? WrestleMania was in Philly. We'll get to that part too.
Mm,
Uh, but now you know who put me on this, John? This you ever heard of Terramana and well, tequila and port?
mm-mm.
Yeah, homie, homie Steve put me on this, John.
Okay, so what
Uh,
is tequila and port? What is that? Is that like
it's tequila and wine,
oh,
actually.
okay, okay.
Yeah, and
Oh,
the
like
night
port, like a Taylor's
port,
port type of thing.
yeah, like the port wine. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So he put me on this John, and I was like, man, that John sound terrible. And then I tried it. Been hooked ever since.
Hey, you know what they
Been
do?
hooked ever
Wine.
since.
I never did know tequila in the wine before. That's a little. That's a little. I mean,
A little different, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it's all
like
right.
it's like a sangria type thing, like a
Yeah,
little.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
So, yeah, but no, it's definitely a vibe for sure. So,
Yeah, I mean Terramana's pretty good, man. It's good, a good selection there.
yeah,
Now I know
yeah.
what now I know what to
I
buy you.
got the Anejo, Anejo tequila, the black bottle. You know what I mean? Black bottle. So, getting back to UConn and Dave Portnoy,
Portnoy.
man. I didn't like I said I didn't watch the game, but I think Zach Edey had 37 and 10. But let me ask you this: what's the noise with him not being a first round pick coming up? Is he just like I mean, you can't teach size, right? 7'4", had eye popping games, and obviously because he's 7'4". But he's somewhat skilled as a big man. I feel like the big man's coming back in the NBA a little bit.
Yeah, I like Zach Edey. I mean, as far as his projection to the NBA, that gets a little tricky. You got a lot of Europeans, little foreigners that's going to come and take them top lottery spots. I think they're just worried about him defensively as far as how when they, NBA kind of spreads the floor. So you
Yeah.
got a lot of big guys that can stretch the floor, shoot the three. Now, can Edey go out there and how can he do on the defensive side? I think in the paint he's dominant. You've seen these big guys in college level struggle all year trying to defend him in the paint. When he's in the paint, he got the right hook, he got the left hook, he got quick feet, up and unders.
Hold
He's
on.
like your traditional
Does
big
he
man.
have quick feet for real?
He
Because I
does.
hear
I
the
mean,
opposite. I heard he's trash.
as far as offensively, he moves well. For me to be 7'4", I mean, I don't know what's his weight, but he looks good to me. His up and under, um, his power through the rim. You know what I'm saying? He can rebound. Um, I like Zach, but like I said, it's going to be more of a defensive liability potentially because of the way the game is in the NBA, of them stretching the floor and having those big guys shooting threes. I don't think he can defend out there in that perimeter, and that's going to be tough.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I can see that.
But he's in shape. He plays all game. He runs up and down the floor. Like, I mean, I think he's going to sky up that draft board because of what he's done during the tournament. I think he averaged damn near 30 points a game. We haven't seen nobody average 30 points a game as a college basketball player in a long time. So
Yeah, that's what I
salute
was
to him.
thinking. Like production is production.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? What I was kind of saying. And you can kind of like almost like some of these stretch fives or fives that were only, back to the basket type players, they're learning how to, add to their game and add range in terms of
yeah,
and becoming somewhat of a stretch five. I mean, a great example of that is Brook Lopez, right? Being able to kind of come out. So I think that yeah, I mean, I mean, the kid's got a good story. I hope he looks like he kind of reminds me like Yao a little bit. Maybe Yao
very
might be a
similar,
little bit
very
skilled.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Yao was probably more skilled than him
Mhm.
coming out. But that's what I see. Like I see a Yao Ming type guy. So
Yeah, because one thing I didn't see too much of him is kind of like his back to the basket as far as his jump shot, fade away. I don't really see too much of that in his game because he was so dominant getting to the rim with his right hook shot and left hook shot. I think he damn near perfected that. That's almost like a layup for him. But like I said, he played defensively. He played against some of the biggest guys, and on a level, you had Klingon from UConn. He dominated him. You had DJ Burns, who was this big story, big fella. He dominated him. So, I mean, I think one-on-one matchups in the paint, he's going to be tough to handle. How does that translate to the NBA is the biggest question. So I can see why he's not a lottery pick. I can see why they have so many questions. But let's see what happens during this little quick off season, or not off season, during this little quick run before the draft, and see what they can do. Maybe he can show some of these scouts he's a little more savvy with the jump shot, a little mid range, not just a hook.
UConn three-peats.
Man, it's tough, man. It's tough to repeat. So now you're asking for a three-peat. I mean, you're going to lose some guys, right? Who's probably Cam Spencer's gone. Tristan Newton's probably going to be gone. Those are real key pieces to that offense. So I don't know, and he's coached well. I'm sure he's going to get somebody in the portal to kind of come in and kind of have that. I feel like they have that Miami Heat culture ish in that UConn locker room.
Out there,
I
Dan
think
Hurley, right?
yeah, Hurley got them guys kind of playing hard but caring for each other. You get what I'm saying? Like really that
Yeah.
brotherhood, that team first. Not too many stars stand out. We all going to eat type of mentality. Old school, like traditional basketball drills. Kind of got them guys just kind of locked in an old school style. But it's funny that little quick story with Hurley. Hurley's probably the third of the family. You know what I mean? The ugly duckling of the family that kind of had to find his way.
Yeah.
Obviously, his brother was a star at Duke, a big time NBA player. His dad was a Hall of Fame coach, pretty much coming out of the high school level, coaching some of the best kids out of the New York area. And then you got Hurley coming in here and taking over, and UConn and possibly can be one of the best coaches of all time. So three-peat is tough to do. It depends on what he's going to do in this offseason, man.
Yeah. Let me look up the odds real quick. Probably should have had that in the tuck. I
It's
thought I saw
interesting.
it earlier, but I didn't. I didn't take note of it. But I know they're obviously they should be the favorites to win it again. I would think because I mean I think there was an interview where he talked about
He won
look
the
out,
three-peat.
yeah, look
Yeah,
out for them, and another reason why he's coming back because he won it. So they're 10-1. They're tied with Duke.
Duke. Yeah, I know Duke got a young team there.
Yeah,
Two.
UConn, Duke, Kansas is 14-1, and then Houston is 14-1 as well.
Yeah, Houston loses a good amount of pieces. They lose their star player. Unfortunately, he got hurt. I think in the Sweet 16 or one of the Elite Eights, possibly. So that's going to be tough. But yeah, it'd be interesting, man. Be interesting. But
Yeah.
congratulations, UConn, back on the
Yeah.
map.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. We'll swing back to basketball a little bit later in the show. We got some women's basketball that seems like it's taking everybody by storm. So we'll circle back around to that. I wanted to switch gears here. Talking about Philly, talking about WrestleMania 40 that was in Philadelphia this weekend. I was actually in the building. I took my son to WrestleMania 40. It was a great event. It was amazing. It brought back all the nostalgia. The Rock was there. The Undertaker was there. Triple H was there. All nostalgia if you was an older wrestling fan. I think The Rock said something about making wrestling cool again, and it really did. I'll tell you what, man. I was waiting out in the parking lot. We did a little tailgate with some of the podcast dudes I know, and waiting out in the parking lot. They didn't open. They were supposed to open the gate at 4:30, right?
Mhm.
And I'm sitting there with my son, and people just coming by. They're taking pictures of the buses with people on there and stuff like that. But the one thing I'll tell you, man, there ain't nothing but grown men in that joint, dog. It
I
would
wanted to ask
it
you.
was
I wanted to ask you that because
nothing but grown men in WrestleMania.
in
Like I didn't
WrestleMania.
see a lot of kids. There were kids there, but it was grown men with their chicks. Like, it was nothing but grown men watching wrestling. It was
So I
one of the
wonder.
funniest things, bro.
That was actually a question I had for you because I was gonna say to you, like, I wonder, is this the pinnacle? Is this the pinnacle of wrestling? Like, is this the height of wrestling? Like, is it gonna drop down? Because I know these are the kids that kind of grew up in wrestling, right? Like, so we're the generation pretty much maybe a little generation before us was really well those that watch television every Sunday. Was it Saturday night or Saturday, whatever it was,
Monday nights.
and Monday on television at 7 o'clock, whatever time it came on, and kind of really followed them. I don't see that now with these kids. Now I wanted to ask you because you was there. Now you just told me that it was nothing but grown men, but these are the grown men that grew up with wrestling. So I wonder with that Rock effect. I wonder and hope that maybe he can kind of transition to the younger guys to kind of keep this going. Or this might be the pinnacle of wrestling.
Well, I mean, I think he can, but I think what the thing is with him is that they know him from movies. They don't know him from wrestling.
Hmm.
Right. They've seen The Rock over time in movies and obviously Maui. I mean, think about some of the Disney movies he did. The Tooth Fairy, the Joan on the Ship. What was the Joan with he did a couple with Kevin Hart, but Jumanji,
Hmm.
right? They know The Rock from that.
But not the wrestle, not
Oh,
the not the
not
not
the
the
wrestler
asshole, not
Rock.
the asshole Rock.
Yeah, not the Rock wrestler who's been cursing left and right when they went
Yeah,
like this
talking
whole
crazy.
PhD mode. Yeah. Like shut the fuck up. The
Yeah,
shit
it
doesn't
doesn't
stop.
matter what you think.
Yeah, you know what
It
I mean?
doesn't matter.
Right. So I think that yeah, but but the one thing about it, man, they took over the city, bro. Like they really did. And it was really like a Super Bowl type level event. Like every day for a week, it was nothing but wrestling events after wrestling events after wrestling events. And they put on a hell of a show. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's been a while. I went to WrestleMania when it was Austin versus Rock like 20 something years ago. And to come back and do it again and to bring my son and just to be there and see the spectacle. The one guy came out named Seth Rollins came out with the mummers. Everybody had Eagles green on, some type of salute, the white and green. I mean, we know Lane Johnson and Kelsey was there. You know what I mean? Like it really was a event. Like it really
Mhm.
was an event. So they put on for the city for sure. I want to read some numbers real quick if I can find them real quick here with what they did. It was considered the greatest WrestleMania ever, and the numbers speak loud. It was the biggest gate ever in the link. Now think about that. We're talking about the link where the Philadelphia Eagles play. Biggest gate ever at the link.
That is
Biggest
crazy.
attendance record at the link. The biggest for Wells Fargo. Biggest attendance at Wells Fargo.
That's for Monday Night
Uh,
Raw.
Yep, biggest event for pay-per-views ever ordered. They shattered every record that they had for WrestleMania. They shattered it, and it was
I mean,
all
I
in
think
Philly.
I think a little bit of that too. I mean, I think for WrestleMania is great. For wrestling is great. I think when you shatter in the gate stuff is because you're adding more seats, right? Like you
Oh
can't have
yeah,
that many
for
seats in a
sure.
football field in the middle. You got a little ass ring, you can add more seats around the ring. So yeah, you're going to sell more tickets, possibly, potentially. And salute to all those people that came out. It was not a warm night. It was fucking cold out there that day.
Yeah, it was
So
cold.
Saturday and
Yeah,
Sunday
yeah,
was cold. So I was like
it
thinking,
was
like,
cold
damn,
as
these
shit.
dudes coming out half naked, wrestling each other. You know what I mean? Titty bumping. They cold as shit. Yeah. A bunch of grown men out here. Never mind.
Yeah, man, it's motherfuckers like you, man.
A bunch of grown men out there looking at these bulls chest out. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, but
Nah,
like
but
I
I
said,
wanted to
man,
go. My homie did me dirty. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Dame. He did me
did he
dirty.
go? Did he go?
Of course he went. He did me dirty though. Then he wanted to hit me up 45 minutes before Monday Night Raw hit. After I've been talking about it for 2 weeks, I'm like, "Yo, here, give me 300. I'll meet you down at the gate." I'm like, "Bro, it's 45 minutes before the show start. I'm like an hour away. What we talking about?"
That's
Guys,
funny.
man,
That,
these
that
dudes.
that's
So
funny. But no, yeah, it was a lot of grown ass men walking around with their championship belts, reliving their dream, man. But it was fun though. My son had
so
a
who
ball.
was the champ? So who won?
It was Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns. So Cody Rhodes, you'll remember this
Yeah, I
name.
remember Cody Ray with
He's
the
Dusty
white.
Rhodes' son.
That's the Rose son. Yeah.
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes' son won, and Roman Reigns is a cousin of The Rock, and this big whole Samoan dynasty that they call the bloodline, and he's part of that bloodline. And he lost, but he was champ for like 4 years straight, which you haven't seen since like Hulk Hogan type shit.
So is Roman Reigns done? That was it for him? Was that his?
Nah, he just lost, but I mean, I'm pretty sure like they're kicking off new storylines every after
This is
WrestleMania.
okay. So let me ask you a question. I'm not sure how
Oh,
much you into wrestling. Obviously, you went to this because it was a big event.
Yeah, for sure.
My thing is this. It's just funny to me when I'm hearing interviews like all throughout the week. I think
On ESPN,
Pat
yeah,
McAfee was
Pat
here asking these
McAfee,
champions
yeah,
about, how's it feel being champion? You work real hard to get here. I don't quite understand it. Now I know it's hard to make it to this level. I know it
for
ain't
sure.
easy. It's tough to become that main character
You got to
and
be an
and be,
athlete.
be marketed.
You got to be.
But
You got to have it all.
you ain't earning no championships. That's why it's so funny to me. Like you ain't Roman Reigns ain't like that. That's a
Well,
script.
think of like the president. Like they talk about the president, right? The president's not elected; he's selected. He's selected.
Okay.
So, like the
Going there, you going
championship
there, you
is
going
that
there. Okay.
the championship guy is the guy who they can make the face of the company and who they can feel can gather and gain more viewership for them. It's like at the end of the day, it's a business. And when they peel back the curtain and you hear some of these Pat McAfee's and Logan Paul interviews, it's about who can
We can
generate the
market.
most money and who can they market.
Yeah.
That's why Austin was so good. That's why Rock was so good. That's why Hogan was so good because these guys generate and put asses in seats. That's the game. That's the how you get there, whether it be a character that's you, made up character like the Undertaker, whatever you want to call it. As long as you can get put asses in seats and start to pull emotion from people, like no bullshit. My wife was bawling, crying watching this guy win, and she doesn't watch wrestling.
Who? Cody?
Cody, yeah, because it was like she resonated with like his story, and then everybody knows Dusty. Dusty died. This boy trying to be like his dad, but he can
So
never
is
handle
he's a hero,
himself.
not a villain? He's not a villain, right?
No, he's not a villain. Yeah, he's a hero. They call a baby face. He's a hero.
He's a hero.
So
Okay.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like she got caught up in the emotional part because they did this whole nice vignette. They show, and not even that a side story. We actually met. I met Dusty Rhodes before. Me and her met Dusty Rhodes before.
Okay. So it's a
So you
little
met the legend. You met the
hit
man.
you a little harder. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you met the man. So there's some type of connection there. But yeah, no, like it. What I mean, that's why think about it. Think about back in the day with Rock and Austin. Everybody was saying Rock's stuff, and you didn't even watch wrestling, but
Yeah,
you knew all his catchphrases. Everybody said Austin 316. How many shirts did that man sell?
yeah,
What, almost 100 million, probably even more than that. So when you
yeah,
got that type of guy who can generate that type of buzz, and everywhere you go, he's a spectacle because they want to see him. I mean, that's what it is. And I'll tell you what, though, we'll move on. I've never heard the link louder than I
wow.
ever heard it at
Well, there's
WrestleMania.
more people in there. There's more people in
I
there.
know it's more people, but I mean like loud, like where it took the air out of the air, I guess is how you say it. They took the noise out of the air, or however you say it.
Yeah,
Like, bro, when
big
like
event.
certain people came out, like when the Undertaker's when his
The
dong
dong came out.
the
Oh my! I can
dong
imagine.
hit, bro, you had 70,000 people like yo, like screaming like yeah, like it was. I've
They said the
never heard
same
the
thing
like
when John Cena came out. Like when John, nobody knew John Cena was there. He came out of nowhere, and they
yeah,
heard his little
like
intro. So that's pretty cool.
yeah. No,
That's
it
what I
was
want.
cool.
That's what I wanted to experience. But
Yeah, yeah.
maybe
It's
next time.
definitely something to experience. I mean, I wish you were there because I think even not being a wrestling fan, you would have enjoyed
The
the
environment.
experience. You would have
Yeah,
enjoyed the entertainment, and you would, you wouldn't have felt nothing, but you would have felt like you were at a really good time, like you went to
yeah,
a good party. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
What you think
yeah,
about
man.
Logan Paul? I mean, this is niche. He looked good. That boy getting up there. That high fly jump I seen on the highlight.
He is 10 times more athletic than I ever thought he
Thought,
was.
yeah, that boy get up there.
You know what I mean? Like we're talking about a podcaster, bro. Like a guy who used to do Pokemon cards and a podcaster. And this dude is jumping off top ropes, doing flips, jumping
Yeah, that's
on
pretty
tables,
crazy.
going through tables, you know what I mean? Doing splits in the air, flipping off the ropes. You know what I mean? He's got his podcast. Like, bro, like as much as people hate on the Paul boys, I salute them to their fucking grind.
Yeah,
I mean, his brother about to step in. I don't know if he's
Mike
wearing
Tyson.
headgear or not. I think there's a stipulation where he might wear headgear in this match or whatever is true or not. I don't know, but he's still stepping in the ring with Mike Tyson. This is all from podcasting, bro. This is all from YouTube. That's where they
YouTube. Yeah,
started.
yeah. Well,
Like,
they he look that boy look like he on that little, I mean, that extra power juice.
No, I
He
don't
look
think
like
so.
he got strong. He
No,
got strong out of
uh,
nowhere. Come
he,
on, man. That
no, he
boy
just
look a
lean.
little
He just
extra.
in shape. He just in shape. But you can. He's an athlete though. He looked
Okay.
like he used to be a gymnast. To be real with you, the way flipping and everything, like it's just wild. It's just crazy. But I think he said on his interview before. I think I saw an interview when he said like he's got that bug. Like some cats just come in there, celebrities, and they just get it, and they got his belt on him. So he's part
Yeah,
of
they
that
got a bet
roster.
on him. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he part of that roster. All right.
Nah, man, I missed it, man. I'm a little upset about it. I missed that one.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was definitely a good show, bro. I think you would enjoyed it regardless if you a wrestling fan or not, for sure, for sure. All right, so let's keep it moving on to the next topic of the day. So thank you guys for you who are watching right now. I see you guys out there on Twitter land. A couple people coming back and forth from Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Keep this thing rolling. We are getting close to 3,000 subs. I need y'all to be a part of that. Getting close. It's crazy grind. It was tough to get to 500 and we went from 500 to almost 20 to 2,500 in no time. So I expect that to keep running. I can't do it without you guys, so I appreciate all your support. Next up, I'm gonna leave Dawn Staley for last because I think she needs her flowers, and
Yeah,
she's
man.
from Philly. You know what I mean? So we'll talk about some more betting. Tiger Woods right now. I don't know if that's accurate at this moment. I did look it up. I'll look it up again, but I believe he's 150 to 1 to win the Masters. And this is the highest odds Tiger has ever been. Now, you do bet a little bit of golf. I do dabble in it a little bit. He's won the Masters 5 times. His last major win was in 2019, which I thought was not like that long
Huge.
ago.
It wasn't. That was a huge win for him.
Um, and it was at Augusta. It wasn't the Masters tournament. Um, his numbers speak for themselves. Player of the year 11 times. PGA Tour Player of the Year 11 times. Money Leader 10 times. Brian Nelson Award. Vardon Trophy 9 times. Like, obviously a GOAT in the sport. And still behind Jack, right? Probably won't catch Jack. It looked like he would have. He has 15 majors. Jack has 18. Now, when I sent this note to you already, you already kind of hit me back like, yo, man. I mean, his body's giving up on him. Was kind of what it looks like. But looking at this now, 151, is that like insane? Like, are they trying to induce people to bet Tiger just because people know who Tiger Woods is? But I feel like the casual golf better is smarter than betting Tiger Woods at this moment and at this point. I feel like people already know, Tiger Woods is, kind of washed at this point. So what do you think about these odds? What do you think about his chances to at least make the cut at the Masters at this point? And would you bet him not to make the cut at the Masters at this point?
Okay, I'll give it to you like this. I think it's brilliant. I think he's scaled right where he should be. Um, Tiger Woods is arguably one of the best to ever do it. Probably one of the best athletes to ever do it. I want to give him all the flowers he deserves. We're in 2024, unfortunately, and his body is now shown that he just cannot stand 4 days of intense golf. It's just tough. I don't think he's made the cut in the last four majors. That's not even just making it to Saturday, um, and it shows. So I don't think anything's changed with that. I don't think anything's going to change with that this year. Um, I think the 150 to 1 is enticing because it's Tiger Woods, and it's like, oh, maybe just let me sprinkle a little bit on it just in case. So the book is going to make some money off that, just off a name, regardless, and
For
then they'll
real.
get a little bit more off because they're like, well, hold on, Tiger. If anybody can do it, Tiger can do it. So yeah, I mean, even me thinking that possibly you could sprinkle something on that at 150 to 1 sounds like a good plan. But unfortunately, my bet is on the opposite side. I got the money on Tiger Woods not making a cut, and that was priced at one. I think at the time minus 115. I think it got up to possibly now like minus 130 for him not to make the cut. So the odds is not in favor to make it to Saturday. Definitely not making it to Sunday, which we all would like to see. But Yeah, it's a lot of good young golfers out here making their way, making a stamp on in the league between PGA and the Live tournament. So it's going to be tough for Tiger Woods to kind of withstand the Masters grind with his body the way it is.
And the way that this is DraftKings has it, there's a Tiger special just for Tiger Woods, and they're just trying to induce people. Right now, top 40 is him. He's at minus 120, and Tiger, the Masters. These are the bets right now on Tiger Woods that you can do. They're doing specifically for Tiger. Tiger Woods, any bogey, free round, plus 1,200. Yes. Tiger Woods, a hole in one on hole four, plus 40,000. Tiger Woods hole in one on 6, 12, 16. Those are high odds.
So it
Tiger
must be the par
Woods to
threes.
break the course record, and Tiger Woods to make it to Albatross, 2000. So be careful, everybody who is thinking about betting Tiger Woods, and you're just trying to bet to bet. He's a name, he's a trigger name, and people in the industry know that. So that's why he has his
Yep.
own specials. In
As he
terms
should. As he should. He's the reason why a lot of people watch golf, especially
for
during that
sure.
time frame. He's a moneymaker. He's the reason why these players are getting what they're getting right now is because of Tiger Woods. The money that they make at this in these tournaments now, especially during that early 2000s, was because of Tiger Woods. These tournaments, they were not making that money coming out of number one. Tiger did that. So, continue to use Tiger Woods' name as much as you can. He's still participating. Um, He's still participating in the PGA. He could have went to Live and made I don't know how much they were going to give him some crazy amount of money for Live. It
I
was
think it
like
was like
300, 900 million, something like that.
yeah, it was like I think it was like close to a billion or something like that. It was
Something
sick.
crazy. I don't know what
Yeah.
he was tripping by not doing that, but his loyalty is to
He
PGA. He's
ain't
been through
tripping,
a
bro. If
lot.
they give you $1 billion, they like own you, dog. Like
He
I
tripping
don't.
now. They didn't partner together. What you mean? He would have got that money for nothing.
Yeah, you know what? What it was? I think it was more. It was more like ownership stake. I think it was, if I remember. I think it would have equaled out to like something crazy, like 1.5 trillion. I mean, billion or something like that. I think it wasn't. They were going to pay him, but they were trying to get him to get ownership stake. But it's crazy how that whole thing. I don't know the details of all that, but it's crazy how they were so combative and button heads. But now everybody's like, yeah, this shit makes sense to link it all up. You know any details on that whole live and
I
um
mean, a couple years ago when it first happened, there was some things going on, and there's a real break in the relationship between PGA and Live. Guys
yeah.
going over to the Live Tour, getting that money. So, but now it's kind of like a wash because now once PGA decides they're going to join and collaborate, it kind of just it's like PGA realized, hey, we can't lose this type of money, and all that bullshit they was yelling at these guys for going over for you to fall right in bid less than what 12 months later is just ridiculous. So these guys just out here just doing what they can do. But believe it or not, I've been really heavy watching golf. I feel like every Sunday I'm tuning in.
Okay.
All those like lower names going on in these PGA games. Obviously, I got some action on it, so I've been doing a lot of little live betting throughout the Sunday, just following up what I got early on that week to see the top 20s, top 10s fall in line. But it's been some good finishes. You know what I mean? Like I've been really kind of tuned in. So
Okay.
I do have a few plays in for the Masters. I'll get them out real quickly.
Yeah, got it.
Um, I'll just give you
We like
guys
we like
some.
we like we like free plays.
Yeah, might as well. Obviously, Scotty
Yeah.
Scheffler is the favorite. He's arguably number one in the world, best golfer right now. Um, you're not going to make a lot of money in that. Does he have an opportunity to win? Yeah, at small plus money. It's a tough
Mhm.
field. Plus 250. If you want to sprinkle something on that, yeah, you could. Obviously, the defending champion and John Rahm is coming back. But it's very tough for guys to repeat in the Masters. Not many have done that. Usually they fall off completely. Like the next time is not even that they come in the top 10. They kind of like fall way off. So this is going to be tough for John Rahm. If anybody can do it, it could be John Rahm. He's a tough guy. He's part of the Live Tour. But here's some of my plays I got going on here. I do have top European at plus 700 to be Matt Fitzpatrick. Think he's going to do well here. I have a half a unit on that. That's going to bring in some money for a plus 700. I have top American at plus 250 for Scotty Scheffler to be the top American. Um, and what this means is to be the best in that group. They don't have to win. They just have to beat the groups within the top American or top European. And it goes to even to a finer line of when you get to Europe, it'd be like type top Irish person, Irish or Ireland, top Scottish. It goes to a deeper level if you want to kind of go there. So those are my two plays there, and then I do have some long shots. Um, Let me see here. Sorry, give me a second.
No, you good. Yeah, I don't know shit. I mean, I don't know nothing about golf. You know what I mean?
I have a long shot here in Jacqueline Neiman. Put a quarter unit on that. That's playing at plus 2,200. He's been doing really well on the Live Tour. He's coming in kind of hot. So just sprinkling some money on him. Fitzpatrick, I have also. That's a long shot, plus 3,500. Another one, plus 4,500. Sahith Segala. I think he has a really good chance. 2,500. I put a quarter on that. And then I go to a quarter on Patrick Reed. Just kind of sprinkle some names out there that can have some opportunity to possibly get in there.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, I look at golf. I like the top like 20 type bets, top 10 type bets if I ever bet golf, but I just don't watch enough to
Yeah.
have a side on it. And
And I do
you
have
can read some
I have
articles.
two units on Tiger Woods missing the cut. So I'm really, really heavy on really heavy on that one. I've let that's a layup.
What's that payout?
That was minus 115 when I got it. So
Oh, okay.
it's 2 unit. In the top 20s you're looking at, I do have Matt Fitzpatrick and Sahith Theegala both in the top to make the top 20. They're plus 150 and plus 120. So
it's decent odds.
you start getting to the top 20, the odds obviously shorten up. Top 10s,
Yeah.
top 5s gets a little bit more heavy on the plus side. But like you said, the top 20 is kind of where you can kind of get a nice little number, even money, if not a little on the plus side, and probably can kind of hit that
Right.
bet. Masters should
Right.
be great though. It's gonna be some weather though, so you gotta worry about the weather this weekend.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know Sharp is a big golf guy, so
He is.
maybe
Yep.
we'll get something out from Sharp. All right. Let's talk about you talked about kind of Europeans and overseas. Just announced Eagles versus Packers opening up the season in Brazil. A lot of people thought it was going to be the Browns. I talked about it on the show on yesterday, our off-season show, that I saw a little nugget that it is going to be the Green Bay Packers. Eagles, Green Bay open the season in Brazil Friday night. We going, yo? We out.
Let's get them tickets, baby. Where we at? Where we
We
at?
out.
Look at that Airbnb
We
going. We
out.
straight.
We out. We out to Brazil, man.
Leave the women
That's
and
gonna
children at
be
home
crazy.
and go watch some football.
That'd be a lot of money just to go to Brazil just to see the Eagles play, bro.
Right, especially in the backyard. But they're
Yeah.
gonna be out there.
Oh yeah. Oh. They gonna be out. They gonna. Hey. Look at my face.
They're gonna be out there.
They gonna be out
They're
there.
definitely gonna be out there.
They gonna be out there in Brazil.
Yeah.
Right now, the Eagles are favorite minus 1.5. Total is 51.5. Money line is minus 118. You can get that on DraftKings right now. Not a bad line. We're the home team. I don't really, we'll get closer as the season gets closer. We'll kind of fill out some bets for that game. I do want to talk about the one thing because I think the problem with this one though, it's a in conference game. It sucks because it's a home game,
Home game. Yep.
right? And you steal a home game from your season ticket holders,
Yep.
and they still got to pay normal price.
Mm.
If you're a season ticket holder, are you mad right now?
100%.
Humble.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about going to goddamn Brazil. Not my team, especially if I'm a season ticket holder. What you mean? That's one less game. That means I only got what? How many games? 8 games now? I got 7
Yeah.
games, right?
Yeah, 7.
Like, man, fuck that. I paid for 8. I'm paying for 8.
Facts.
That means I'm like, what we talking about?
Facts. Yeah, I seen a couple people who I know are season ticket holders, and they were not happy. To them, hey, get on the plane, get on the plane, right?
Them
Get on the
tickets don't
plane.
transfer over to Brazil.
And make sure you got your Ray Charles on. You know what I mean? Make sure you got your Ray
I really
Charles.
tell you the truth. I think it's cool that they're doing
You ever
that.
been to
Going up to
Brazil?
Brazil. I've never been to Brazil. I think it's cool, but you know,
You know
I
anybody who's
don't.
been to Brazil?
I don't really want my team going to Brazil. I'll tell you that.
You know anybody who's been to Brazil? Okay. Yeah. So you ever been in the locker room? So if you're in the locker room, right? You in the locker room, right? And you in the Eagles locker room right now. What you saying? You know what I mean? Just like you did that right there. Like
They
you
hoping they
boys
go
looking
early.
at each
They
other
hope they
like,
there about 2 weeks prior. That's what they
like
hope. They hope.
yo, babe, we going to Brazil. You know what I mean? But they said wires can't come. Like, what's that conversation like? Right?
A tough one.
A tough one, right?
Because
A
they want to be
tough
there. They want to be there. So it's going to be a tough one. Hopefully they can get there about 2 weeks early, get a little acclimated to the weather, to the time difference and time change. Make
one.
sure the field is right. They can get adjusted. By the time the week of, they can kind of be focused on the game plan because we need this one. It's a big game, man. This ain't no. Like I said, it's a conference game. We got to come out the gate and handle our business. I don't want our Eagles after the season we had need any more distractions. And the first thing we get out is fucking Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's exactly what you're saying in that locker room. It's like, damn, the first thing I got to do this year to get off to a good start, I got to go to Brazil.
Brazil. And the question is, do you travel late or do you travel early? Like, what do you do if you're the owner, a manager, a coach? What's the plan here? Obviously, it's a big thing for NFL. Matter of fact, NFL probably want them to go early so they can sign autographs, see the people, blah blah blah. Kind of like how they do with the NBA. I feel like you could have did this with a preseason game. You feel what I'm saying? Not a real game. This could have been a preseason game.
Well, I guess you could have done it with a preseason game. You know what I mean? But I mean, they're gonna be the stadium gonna be live though, because them stadiums they soccer stadiums. They hold 100,000 people.
Hey, I mean they do that over there when they go to Europe. So I get it.
Has the Eagles been overseas yet, or is this the first game? Like
I think we did. Yeah, we did go overseas.
Did we do something?
We went overseas. I think it's like 2001. 2021, 22.
What? London?
It was London, Wembley. I think they played in Wembley.
Yeah, that's gonna be this game. I can't even imagine what the conversations are in that locker room. You know what I mean? Like as soon as you find out, you're like, oh.
You see, Kelsey said he think about it on his way back. Kelsey had about a month with them kids and said, "Hey, let me get up back. Let me go back in the locker room."
Kelsey out here having too much fun, man. Doing Wrestlemania, jumping through tables, like. Kelsey out here having fun. Their podcast is #1 podcast, I think, on Apple Podcasts or whatever.
Salute.
Yeah, so like I think he's going to make more money outside of football than he did when he played.
That ain't going nowhere. That ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, that ain't going nowhere.
But what he do want to do is get out that damn house. That's what he realized.
Yeah,
he'll be in the Eagles locker room come September. Watch, I promise you. Yeah. He'll be doing something.
All right, let's go to the woman of the day, the myth, the legend, Dawn Staley. I wanted to bring a quick snippet real here to introduce the legend out of North Philly.
Diamond Street.
Hope you guys enjoy this little old school snippet of Dawn Staley and this old school Nike commercial.
I play sports for the competitiveness. I think I need some place to release it because, I mean, it just builds up and builds up, and sports is a great outlet for it. I started out playing with the guys. I mean, I wasn't always accepted because you get criticized, like you need to be in the kitchen somewhere, go put on a skirt. I just got mad and angry, and I went out and practiced on my own, and I was going to show them that I belong here as well as they do. some people say, like, you don't play like a girl. And, I mean, what does a girl play basketball? You know, you play basketball, you play basketball.
She D Bull up too. He wasn't- she locked Bull up too. He
Definitely
wasn't getting
did. He was like,
nothing.
"There, you don't play like no girl." That was
Yeah,
him saying
yeah. But shout out to Dawn Staley, North Philly stand up, like you said, Diamond Street, a perfect season. South Carolina beats Iowa in the national championship. It's just her second in 3 years, I think it is,
it is. Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. Man, now the one thing that I took away from this women's championship was how the star power is coming along. Like Caitlin Clark, people can say whatever they want to say about her, but she brought a lot of eyes to the game. Dawn Staley, a lot of eyes to the game. If I'm not mistaken, they did better numbers than the men did in terms of the NCAA championship. So people were tuned in.
Yeah.
People were watching this. Obviously, people were betting this game as well. South Carolina was actually a decent favorite in this game, and I believe they did cover easily here. I did not watch the game. I do not have the context of the players outside of the names that we know and the stars that we know. I knew obviously who Dawn Staley is. I know what she's done with that South Carolina program. I think there's only one senior on that team, if I believe. That team is all freshmen and sophomores, so they're all coming back. Probably another favorite to win it again. I was surprised to know some of the where she sits amongst legends. She had got her 600 win. She's over. I think like she's at 612, but she's like 40th on the list. I think the top. I think Tillman was up there, right? Pat,
Yep.
Tennessee. I
Yep.
think she was like 3 or something like that. I forget who's number 1, but it's like 1,200 wins. So I thought she had more wins, or she was up that list or that ladder. So even though her greatness right now is writing her own story as we talk about it, rewriting history as we talk about it. Still a long ways to go to be in that GOAT conversation. But since Philadelphia podcast, both of us Philadelphia born and raised, always love to salute to one of our own coming out, from the mud pretty much and making something great of herself and being a representation and never forgetting that of where she comes from and who she is. But did he talk to me about this game, man? I'm assuming you watched the game.
Yeah, man. So much I want to talk about this really quick. I want to
Yeah,
spot on a
good.
couple of things. Well, first off, the college basketball finals game was one of the most bet on games in betting history for the men's side. Um, that goes down to tribute to the accessibility of gambling right now in
Yep.
2024. Able to gamble by the click of a button on your phone and all these different platforms. You're seeing this continue to rise and will continue to rise as the years go by. But although it wasn't a whole lot of viewership compared to the girls' game, there was a lot of money on that men's college basketball game, whether it was in parlays, single bets, prop bets, player prop bets, X, Y, and Z. On the other end of this, now you have women's college basketball being one of the most viewed events of all time. I believe it was like 18 million, or maybe I might be short a couple million, um, that tuned into that South Carolina Iowa game, and a lot of that has to do with um, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
But before we jump on to Caitlin Clark, I gotta give my roses to Dawn Staley. Just such, I mean, you want to talk about class act, the example that she puts and portrays when she's interviewing, speaking to her teams, interviews. She just says the right thing. She keeps it real. Nothing changes. Like that's an example of a person keeping it real, but keeping it real at the same time as being professional, respectful, and like my name says, being humble in these moments, um, and knowing what to say. And I hope a lot of kids um, listen and kind of and grab from that. I know we love the Angel Reese's and the unapologetic me and blah blah blah. And yeah, that's cool. But I also love Dawn Staley as an example for my young people. And I think if I'm a kid or if I'm a parent of a kid has an opportunity to play at a high level. I want my kid to play for a person like Dawn Staley, just because I know she has the best interest for my child, and that's how she operates. And it's showing 110 or 111 and 3 as her win loss percentage over the last 3 years. That's insane. Three
Yeah,
losses in three
sick,
years,
sick,
110 wins, two national championships,
sick.
a Final Four appearance in the middle of that. And we're not talking about the same team here. We're talking about a whole new team. This team wasn't supposed to be where they were. This was, like you said, a young team. That she lost, I want to say, what, 6 starters for her
Yeah,
last year, either graduated or now in the WNBA.
it
So
shows that she can coach her ass off.
correct. And she
Like
can
she can
have
coach
this
her
team
ass off.
believe and gravitate to them. You see them in
Yeah.
the background. They love each other. It's that teamwork, team first approach. So salute to Dawn Staley. Hope she continues her success and be great. Let's talk about one thing quickly too. How come we don't talk about women being in head coaching in college basketball, men's college basketball? It seems like it wants to be a narrative in the NBA, right? We're getting a lot of women into coaching in the NBA. If anybody can coach, I think men's basketball, be Dawn Staley. She been messing with these guys, like she said in that video, the Nike commercial, since she was a youngin. Like I
Hmm.
think she can lead people, whether they're male or female.
Yeah, and
But if you think about it,
I
is there any female head coaches in college basketball for men?
no.
No, right?
But
That's
I
an
think right
interesting
now she's a
thing.
big fish. She's a big fish in a small pond. If you know that saying that. So, if you're a big fish in a small pond, do you want to jump into a pool where you're not no longer the big fish? Like I said, when I was talking about her, she's writing her story right now. I don't
Mhm.
think she's finished.
I
Um,
agree. I think that'd be a
South.
great transition for her if she's up to that task. I mean, I know she's really into her people, women, moving basketball for that side of sports and continue to helping that grow. But I think it's
Hmm.
an opportunity for her to kind of come over, and I think she can lead men too. I think she can lead
Oh
young
yeah, for
men,
sure.
you know what I mean, at this next level and kind of give them a different perspective on respect and what it takes to be a champion. I would love to see that. So I just want to kind of give my roses to Dawn Staley, and then like trans over to Caitlin Clark. Man, she's the reason why all these people are tuning in. Caitlin Clark is the golden child. She is. I don't think there's been a person like that in college women's sports probably ever, with the hype that she's gotten. Um, I think it will transition into the WNBA. Do I think that
Is
people
she
will
going
tune
to the
in?
WNBA?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She is. She
That
is.
was her last game. Yeah, that was her last college basketball game. She'll be a
No, but I mean, she has the Ice Cube offer, right?
Yeah, yeah, but she'll be in the WNBA next year. She'll be an Indiana Fever. They've already sold out tickets. Visiting teams that's going to be playing Indiana already sold out. I
Yeah, I
think
heard.
90% of Indiana Fever games are going to be nationally televised. The WNBA is not going to allow her to go anywhere else besides because she's going to be a moneymaker. She's the golden goose. So when people say, "Hey,
How
it's going to
crazy?
take a
Well,
time
hold on.
for
Let
her
me
to
let me let me
transition,"
stop you right there. How crazy is that?
it's really
Like
crazy.
how crazy is
It's
that
never
when
been done.
I, Ice Cube saw it, he said, "I'll give you 5 million," but you know they're gonna you can't give him the Ice Cube, right? You can't give her the Ice Cube. I mean, you got to block that out because
Yeah.
all that viewership, all that power goes right over the Cube because everybody would tune in the Big Three to see what she's doing over in the Big Three.
But the question is, I think yeah, because their season kind of comes around the same time. The question is, can she do both? I think Caitlin has the power to do that. It depends on how she wants to negotiate. She has all the leverage. She has all the power. If you want to play big three, maybe for a few games, you negotiate with Cube. Say, hey, listen, this is what I'm looking to do. I would love to help you out too. Maybe I'll play half a season as I continue to work. Like she has the power, and I think her game is going to translate. I don't think it's going to be a tough transition because she can shoot from wherever. Now, is she going to be defended much better than she has been over these years? Are these grown women now that are now in the NBA? Is she going to have a target on her back? Absolutely, but I think she'll be able to adjust. She is the Steph Curry potentially going into the WNBA, but the monster behind her, the money monster behind her, they're not going to let her fail. I think that's what people don't realize. They're not going to let Caitlyn fail. because she's going to
Yeah.
produce so much money. I just told you, 90% of the games are on national television. You're talking commercials, you're talking everything. She has a whole machine, a money machine behind her because of what
She's
she's
about to be
done.
the face.
She's going to be the face. They're already
Yeah.
showing you that. 16 plus million people, 18 million people tuned in
And
to
I
see
gotta
Caitlin
ask you.
Clark
I gotta
last
ask
week
you. Gotta
at
ask
a
you.
3 o'clock game. How terrible was that for
Is
networks to have a
this
Sunday
a race
championship
thing?
game at 3 games?
Is this a race thing?
The Great White Hype? No, I think she's just skilled, man. I think it's unique. It's a unicorn. It's a unicorn thing. It's a combination of, yeah, she is white, so she's going to capture that audience. But I think she also is skilled, like we never seen in a women's basketball, that can just pull up from wherever, half court, quarter court, layup. She can tack. She has her weaknesses though, but she's just a unique character or individual. Sorry, I didn't mean to say character. Individual that just has a skill, and her being white does help too, right? It helps, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about who was there was a woman, I think I saw her talk she talked about something like about the elephant in the room. Um that didn't break her all-time record. Did you see that? It was a black woman.
Yeah, she gave her respect when she broke it. Yeah,
But I
yep.
thought she said that it wasn't like she didn't really break it. Like she doesn't recognize it as her record's been broken. But
If it's the
I
same
forget
lady that
who
I'm
it
talking about, I
was.
don't know her name off the top of my head. I think they had
Yeah.
a conversation. She was very welcoming about Caitlyn actually bringing her up and letting her know and giving her the respect that you know to her. I don't know her name. I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah, I can't think of her name. I remember seeing the video, and then she looked back. She's just like, oh, okay, we're gonna talk about the elephant in the room. All right, we might as well. Yeah, I don't recognize it as breaking my record. I don't think my record's been broken, but I forget who it was. It is really interesting. A lot of the media that you kind of see on Caitlyn is about people who are kind of kind of dissing her or kind of saying I guess she might not be that good or whatever the situation may be. But I think I do agree with you. She's kind of like that Steph Curry of the WNBA, just because, and not even that, she did it on a big stage. Um,
For
you
sure.
know, and she's done it over and over again. What did she have in this game? She had what, 30 points? I mean, she was 10 for 28. And they figured out, I think the thing that came out of this game, they figured out how to stop her and try to force everybody else to score. And if I'm looking at the box score here, if you look at the numbers, I mean, the only person off the bench had 13 minutes. Everybody else played almost 40 minutes. Like they played the full game. So
Yeah, yeah, and I think she started off the game real hot. I think she had 18 points in the first quarter. I think that was a record-breaking first quarter by any player in the finals.
okay.
And then she cooled off, but I believe it was Johnson that was defending her for South Carolina that just was kind of locking her down a little bit, better than she's had. So she did kind of cool off throughout the game. She didn't have her best game, but she did ball. You know what I mean? She balled all year. Like nobody was thinking about Iowa basketball. Nobody. Before she got there, nobody was thinking about Iowa basketball as any type of potential threat to a national championship title in the college women's basketball. And she did that by herself. Now she has some young guys with her, some support, but she was the main focus, and she did her thing, man. So salute to Caitlin. Obviously, I was rooting for Dawn Staley. I'm happy. Um, I think there's some star power coming out. You got next up is a young girl, Juju Watkins out of USC. Kind of got that Maya Moore flair to her. Um, Obviously, Angel Reese is coming out. You got the young lady out of Stanford that's coming out. There's some star power that's in the WNBA. Hopefully, it can continue to. I'm sorry, in the college women's basketball that will be transitioned to WNBA. Hopefully, that same fire that's been behind Caitlin will continue over to that league because it's better for everything, man.
I was gonna
And
say,
women,
have you
and
ever been to
women.
an NBA game?
I've never been to I would like to go, but I ref, so I ref a lot of women basketball.
Mm.
So it is a totally different game. Obviously, women basketball is below the rim versus above the rim, which is why NBA is so much more exciting to see. It's a sport that's male driven, so obviously a lot of men are watching sports all day long. I put this on the women. I put this on women. Women need to support women's sports.
They do,
And
and they don't. That's the
and you're
kid.
seeing
They don't.
that's it. And you want to know why the ratings were so large with Caitlin Clark in South Carolina, besides the stories, is because a lot of women was interested in seeing what's happening. So you've seen that increase, right? Everybody tuned in. It was pushed in your face on every national network, ESPN, everybody
But that's
talking
why
about the
that's
game.
why I asked if it was a race thing too. Right.
You can get, you get behind your own, right? Ultimately, it don't have to be necessarily a negative thing. You just get behind your
No,
own,
it's
but you
not. No,
also
yeah. I, when I say is it a race thing, I was thinking the fact that they're going to really push the engine behind. Like I feel like there's been stars before that have come out in the WNBA, or at least I feel like maybe of this level of hype. Like I mean, I would have feel like the Cheryl was the WNBA around when Cheryl Swoops was around. Or was this before her time?
yeah, sure she was in WNBA. Yeah,
Yeah, like
she was a
Cheryl
beast.
Swoops.
She was that person.
Lisa Leslie.
Yeah, they all got it.
Like some of those greats that came out, but I guess it was such a in the
Very,
infancy
very young.
stage of WNBA, and just not where it's at now, where that machine was. But did they push some of those highly talented women coming out as much as they're trying to push Caitlin? I'm not knocking it. Go get yours. You earned it. You deserved it. You lived up to the hype. That what it is. But I just I'm just asking. Just
I think
asking.
Caitlin's so unique because of her ability to shoot the ball at a very long distance that we have never seen in college women basketball. We just never seen it. We've never seen nobody be able to pull up at any point in time and knock a bucket down like that, and then take it by storm and become the college leading scorer of all time. So that is Caitlin Clark. She's definitely earned that. Whether she's white or black, maybe you have a lean to that. But over the last few years, the biggest stars coming out of college basketball have been white. Breonna Taylor, um, I think I'm sorry, not Brown. I apologize, Breonna Taylor. Breonna Stewart out of UConn, who was a four-time national champion, four-time MVP. She's white.
Nothing about.
Inescu out of Oregon,
I think
right?
she was on Phoenix, right? I think was it Phoenix Mercury or something like that.
Now I think she's on Phoenix Mercury. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, hey,
I
hey!
think she was on
I
Seattle.
surprised you with my WNBA knowledge.
Yeah,
You
but
know
I
what
think
I
she
mean?
got drafted by Seattle. I think at first. But there's been a lot of white stars that came out that have been number one picks that's been dominant, but nothing has been like Caitlin Clark because of her ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm not knocking it. I was just doing my
I
journalism.
understand it.
You know
I
what I mean?
understand
Doing
the
my
argument.
journalism bid.
It's tough when you have a lot of racial undertone, like Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, right? You have that old undertone, like, oh, this is a black and white thing. Angel Reese is blah blah blah, and Caitlin Clark is this, and you got the whole you can't touch me face, like it. That whole card last year. You also had, Dawn Staley majority.
Caitlin Clark be on her flopping shit too. I didn't see a couple Jones when she just like I remember when they lost and somebody stormed the court and the person just kind of ran past her and hit her. She just like, you know what I mean? Like, come
I
on, Caitlin.
mean, but come on, she should have
Come
been.
on,
Nobody should have
Caitlin.
stormed the court though. Like, what we
Come
talking
on, Caitlin.
about?
Come on, Caitlin. You done ran through a pick before harder than that. Come on now. Don't do
Mm-mm.
that to us. Don't do that to us. But yeah, I think that is all the stories we got tonight for Gambling Nights. I know there's a couple other stories out there that we could speak on, but we'll leave that for next week. We'll see. We'll see what Friday and Saturday comes. I know the one thing was the J. Cole thing, um,
Ah,
but I heard through the grapevine.
I'm a J Cole fan, so
My man hit me up and he was just like, "Yo, supposedly the word is Drake about to drop this weekend," and Kendrick got a response already. So
yeah, they
we'll
said they in the booth.
we'll see. We'll
This
we'll,
is my
we'll
thing.
see.
If people don't like the way J. Cole handled it, he brought out the
Cole
diss
just
track
got out
on
the way.
Friday. He just got out the way. And
Cole just got out
he
the
did
way.
it in a respectful way. Like, I don't even think it was really intent for him. He was in the mix because they're on tour together. They did that one song, first person shooter. And I think he kind of got in the mix. That's just my opinion. I respect Cole. People feel like they lost respect for Cole because this is not hip hop. You're supposed to blah, blah, blah. But Cole ain't from that cloth. Now, can Cole now say he the greatest? No, he can't. Okay. Can Cole say I'm on a battle rap? No, but no, you can't. You can't do none of that no more. Just come back home to your
Go back home.
fans and just rap like you've been rap. Give me some positive raps. You a grown
Yeah.
man, 40, married with kids. Like, he ain't from the streets. He from Raleigh, North Carolina. Went to college. Just had a
Yo.
gift with a pen and a verse and can rhyme. You know what I'm saying? He's been that way his whole life. Compton K Dot is just a little different.
A little.
He going, you know what I'm saying? And Drake. So hey, let them do they gonna do. Cole said, hey, y'all got that. I don't need none of that.
Yeah. Facts. Facts. I get it.
So
I
be
get it.
interesting. We interested in seeing what Drake gonna drop because Drake still ain't respond to Pusha T. Remember that?
Yeah, he ain't gonna respond to that.
Oh no, that's done now.
Kendrick seems like a better meal.
Kendrick going.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Kendrick is tough, man. That's a tough
yeah,
fight.
it's tough. Yeah, it's a tough fight. I like it though. I like it though. So I want to thank everybody for who is watching or listening to Gambling Nights episode 2. We will be back next week for episode 3 again. We can't do this without you. We appreciate all the support, but I do ask you, if you're hearing my voice or you're hearing this for the first time, you're seeing this for the first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button wherever you are on any social media platform, whether it be YouTube, follow on Gram, follow on Facebook, subscribing to our audio podcast that you can listen to at this moment right now. We're on our way up. I saw somebody talking about the Webby Awards for podcasting. We still need a lot of ground to do it to get there. I don't even want to put that out there, but that's a goal of mine, right? Get a nomination for that because of what we do and how we can do this on this mic better than a lot of people around. A lot of people try to do podcasts. A lot of people try to talk, but a lot of people ain't good. Just because you put a camera in your face and a mic in your face don't mean you can talk to people and relate to people. And I think we do a good job of that. We give you the best we can do in terms of betting and now adding more content and more shows to give some other viewers who like to listen to this type of content the best show possible. So again, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. For Gambling Nights, we're going to switch up the look, the intro. It's still coming in the works, but stay with us, stay patient, and I promise you, you will enjoy these conversations each and every Wednesday nights at 9:30. Hopefully, if motherfucking Be Humble will be on time for
I gotta figure
9:30.
out. Gotta figure out a different name. You don't like the name, so I gotta find something
No,
else.
no. If you want to go with Humble,
I
we can
gotta,
do
I,
Humble.
I gotta find something else.
We
We
can
gotta
do
find.
Humble.
Maybe
I
we'll
want
just
to.
keep it
I
at
want
keep
to
it at B.
celebrate
Then.
your greatness. Don't be humble about it.
All right, we're gonna just put B. I'm just gonna put B. Yeah, then I'll B
B.
bet. So we figure something out. I gotta figure something out.
I like it.
Diddy done messed everything up, man. God
He did.
damn.
It's all good. It's all good. No, that's not all good. No, Diddy didn't effed it up. Diddy didn't have this thing whole up.
Oh
You know what
man.
I mean? But thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. If you're going to, if you have anything else, we will catch you next week. That's Be Humble. I'm Moss Money. This is Gambling Nights. We will see y'all later.